All right. Well, thank you for joining, you guys. I am so excited to share my passion for wedding showers with you. Um, a little bit, just thought I'd introduce myself quick in case you haven't met me yet. My name is Jayme Nelson. I have been doing Pampered Chef for 20 years, and my very first party was my sister's bridal shower. And it's kind of how I got into it. I didn't cook at all, but I wanted to get these great tools for my husband who loves to cook. We couldn't afford it, had this brand new baby, wanted to stay home. And then my sister's shower was coming up, or she was getting married, and Rhonda, my director, was talking about showers, and ding, ding, ding. I got home and I thought, well, there's 2 parties. We had to do 6 when I signed up. I thought, well, if I do the first 2, hate it, I'll switch the rest to catalog parties, because virtual wasn't even a thing back then. And I have loved every minute of it. So I'm grateful for bridal showers. I love filling the kitchen. So I have a little PowerPoint prepared to keep me on track. So I am just going to pull that up. And I see I didn't get to the beginning of it. So hold on a moment. All right. So wedding showers, can you all see that okay? All right, so if you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll try to cover them at the end. If it's something that applies to something I'm showing you, feel free to chime in. But the kitchen, truly, in my opinion, is the heart of the home. And if we have the right tools for the job, it will make cooking so much easier. And so I love that we get to help new couples start their kitchens off with amazing tools. And so here's a graphic. There's Gretchen on our Red Hot Chili Peppers team made this graphic, and I just love it. Isn't it cute? So they do fill the heart and the home. One thing that I thought I would start with is mindset. When you go into showers, maybe you have one on your calendar right now and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to challenge you to remember to keep the heart of service in your mind. You are there to serve them. This isn't to make you money. Make it all about the bride. If you make it all about the bride, you are going to have a great shower, and she's going to get everything she wants, or she's going to be pampered. And you guys, it creates repeat business. I love it when families reach out to me because I did a shower for them 15 years ago. They know me, they want me to do their showers. It feels good. And so if you go at your business with a heart of service, truly wanting to help them, take yourself out of it, you will find success. So I just wanted to touch on that. Another thing that I thought I would share with you is that every consultant is different, and you guys can do this business the way you want to do it. And you will find a way that you like to do showers, and it might be different, probably will be different than the way I do showers. This is what I'm showing you is how I have the system that I have down, and I've done them long enough that I feel like I can kind of do them in my sleep. So I'm just happy to share the tips and tricks that I picked up along the way. I'm not set in stone. I change things a lot. In fact, there's a few new things that I've changed that I'll show you here. But the other thing that I wanted to point out is if you're watching this recording, some of the promotions and the prices may have changed. So just make sure that you check to make sure that what we say, like shipping and things like that, are still the same. And next thing is to market it. It is your business, and wedding showers are definitely untapped potential. I know at my parties, at my in-home parties, I'll say, who has this? And there's always somebody who raises their hand. They have everything. And you know why they have everything? Because they had a shower. So you are doing a huge favor to put the word out there. And I mean, a lot of people only get married once. So let's spread this and make sure people know about it. And if you have posted once about showers, that's not enough. Like, we need to consistently be posting about these, because you never know when the timing is going to be right. Like, if I look at my phone tonight, I'm going to see something different than I will see tomorrow morning. I might not look at my phone tomorrow morning. So let's say you did a post in the morning and no one responded. I tried that. I just want you to continue to post about it. Make sure people are aware about it. And you can do the home office materials, which are the 2 in the back, or this fun one, which I snagged from Janelle's template, the one up front. But it's just a good way to get some dialogue going. Another tip that I have for you, along the way, I'm going to have these little pro tip blurbs. I'm not calling myself a pro. These are just like little pointers that I've picked up along the way that I think are super important. So if you see a blue star, make sure to jot a note down. This was really hard for me to take out of my vocabulary. Is we did bridal showers for years. I called them bridal showers, but I have tried to retrain my brain to call them wedding showers now. And you guys, it was just a good way to include people. I had a shower for 2 women that were getting married last year, and it was one of my record showers, over $3,000. So it doesn't have to be a him and her. If you're saying bridal showers, you're kind of eliminating the hims and hymns out there. So just food for thought. Our words have meaning and are very powerful. So the next thing is to choose the style that works for you. It works for the family. So we have an in-person shower and then we have a virtual shower, or we can do a combination of the both, which is what I really love to do. Even if there's in-person, I'll try to do something online, just because you can have all information in one place. And I think it's easier for people to ask questions that way. Plus I can show some products that I'm not going to drag along to the shower. The next step would be to set up the shower in Consultant's Corner. And when you set up your shower, if you scroll down to the themes, there is a theme called wedding shower. And I love the words that Pampered Chef came up with for us. You just click wedding shower and click save. And that's the picture that automatically pops up there. I had a team member that created a shower and happened to send me a screenshot. And I said, oh my goodness, you need to change the theme, because hers said, make sure to bring a friend. Well, you wouldn't bring friends to a bridal or a wedding shower, right? So you want to make sure that the words are appropriate for what you're doing. And then as far as the shower type, I set showers up. Once upon a time, we could do co-host. So I would do the host and the bride, but now we can only have one host. So I always list the bride as the host. On my last shower I did, the host said, or the bride said, will you please list the host name for the contact information? So I used the host phone number with the bride. You just have to make sure to edit that later so you have the right phone number in your system in case you're trying to reach that bride down the road. Does that make sense? Another thing is that you can list as many hosted by, in the hosted by field, you can list as many names as you want. So I did a fake shower for my daughter, my youngest. So, but I just wanted somebody's name that wasn't in my system. So I used my daughter Ava for this. So I listed all her aunties there. So you'll see that you can list all of them there. And then in the party setup, you also want to make sure that your party link is, I use the first and last name of the bride. Unless I'm doing a couple shower, then I would do Julie and Matt, or, you know, whatever the couple's names are. And then you can also add the Facebook event into your Consultant's Corner. And that's kind of handy to do in case you have people. Have you guys ever had a group that you can't find on Facebook? You're like, where did that thing go? If you have it linked into Consultant's Corner, that's one place that people could easily get to it and find it. And then you'll want to share. So if you click share, you can copy that and send it to your host and your bride and have them check it out for accuracy, because you never know when you might mistype something, or you want to make sure the address is correct, because as soon as you share this, people could start ordering. And so you just want to make sure that's all correct. Next thing, this is the text that I send to brides. So as soon as I have this saved as a text replacement in my phone, and it makes it super simple. And if that's a whole nother training that I can show you later, or you could add it to boards now too, if you've taken any training on those. But I like that it's there, it's quick, it's easy. And I show them how to create the registry in here. And it also has some must-have products. It's a blog that is on your website if you have a subscription right now. I will usually follow this up with a text to remind them to select items from all different price ranges so that their guests have options. I've had some brides try to not feel assuming, and they don't want to register for expensive things because they don't, you know, they feel bad about it. But I tell them And you can work with them too, that you have to have some bigger ticket items on there just in case. What if a couple aunts wanted to go together and get you some cookware? Make sure to put the things you want on there. And then when you have your host rewards, we'll know what you want to get and it'll be easy to pick those out. And then the next step is to connect the registry to the party. So step by step here, you would go into the party and you would click cart. And then the second thing you would do is where it says view host wish list right in the middle of the screen here. And then you would click the down arrow and find the wish list and then click save. Now you'll notice here, if you open it up and it says your host hasn't created a wish list yet, if you find that to be the case, 9 times out of 10, the problem is you entered the email address incorrectly, or she gave you a different email address. I find lately a lot of brides have a lot of different email addresses. Oh shoot, I gave you the wrong one. So that's an easy fix. But if it doesn't show up, that's how to fix it. And then this is what Janelle's joining for, to show you how the click by click, how to set it up. So you click cart, and then you'll click the wish list in the middle, and then that down arrow, click it, and then save. And boom, there's her wish list. Now it is connected to the shower. And you'll notice down here in the bottom right-hand corner where it says registry. I wish this was an orange box too, or a red box too. I've sent that to tech support, tech support. I'm not sure who to send it to, but that is where when you share the link, and it pops up shop now, right under that is where the registry is. And you can actually link that URL in your event or your group. Any questions on that? That was a lot quick. No? Okay. Next thing
Jayme,
is,
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
It's Gretchen.
Hi, Gretchen.
So you always, whenever you're doing a bridal shower, like I have an in-person one that I'm doing at the end of August. I already set up the event, and she just did her registry, so now I need to link that. Now I know how. But the Facebook event, you always set one up no matter what, huh?
No, not always.
Do you ask the bride if they want that? And
yeah, I ask the bride and the host, because sometimes it's easier for the host, really. If people have questions, then the host doesn't have to be the go-between between you and the customer. And there's some people that want to do phone orders, and it's just easier way to communicate with everyone. I would set it up as a group, not an event as well, so you can schedule some posts.
And what kind of information do you share then in that?
You're jumping ahead. We're going to get there.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. Good questions. Okay. So that was click by click. Then I think really it's super important that we have communication with the bride. This business is all about relationships. It's all about connections. So you want to connect with that bride. I ask her to fill out this Google form, and it is a way that I can get some information from her to use for a quiz. I also will talk to her to ask if she would be comfortable, because there's some introverts out there that are super nervous about doing this, but if they would consider helping me cook. And you can find out right away their cooking style, who does, and how comfortable they are in the kitchen when you ask them this question. And if they're like super excited to do it, that's a recruit lead right there. That's a red flag for me. So you always want to kind of pay attention to that too, because weddings are expensive. So it's a good place to plant that seed too. And then I always try to personalize it. Ask the couple for an engagement picture. This was the funniest one I could find online. It made me laugh out loud. But the engagement picture will help me personalize it, and it makes them feel special. And it also shows that you kind of did your homework. You're not just a cookie cutter. So I use that in the event. I'll use it or on the Facebook group, and also on the invitations. So the quiz, these are the questions from the Google form. I'm happy to share my form with you, although if you want to create your own, that would be great. If you don't know how to do that and you want to use mine, just reach out. Because I've gotten some random ones, like, I don't know who Janetta is, but I have her quiz here. I know a lot about her now. I know who likes the spiciest food, but I don't know what this is for. So anyway, if you do that, just let me know. And then for in-person parties, I will take those quiz questions and I make a printed quiz. And what's cool about this, what I love to do about this is oftentimes people will come to the shower and they'll see you as the salesperson, right? So they don't trust you right away because you're the salesperson. But once I start doing this quiz and I give the answers, they're going to realize that, hey, I took the time to get to know this couple. Then they start trusting you more. You're building that rapport. When I start the quiz, I give them 2 minutes and I look at my phone and I do schedule or look and, okay, you guys have 2 minutes, and you'll have the ones that are chatting that don't start it until you say, okay, time's almost done. And they're like, haven't even started it yet. So just be aware of that, but it's not rocket science. It's just fun. And then I give them the answers and I give a prize. Now, I would always give a prize, and 9 times out of 10, the guest who won the prize would give it to the bride. So I started bringing 2 prizes for this. So the bride could keep one and the guest could have one. You guys don't have to spend a lot of money on this. It could be a printed recipe. It could be, I mean, ask your director if you need help with prizes. But prizes are fun. They add a little excitement to the party. And then there's this bridal order form that Janelle shared with me. Thank you, Janelle. I love this. So I'll print this on one side and then that quiz on the other. And then I put this in a catalog, and that's what I set at every place where people are going to be at the shower. That's it. I give them a catalog and this. Virtual parties. For that quiz, I'll take the questions and I will make them into little graphics. I started making a couple that I could use over and over again, but I have some of these in Canva that I can just easily plug different names in. And it adds some fun. The longest that I run a virtual shower is 7 days. And I think that's a little long. I prefer about 4 days. I think is plenty of time. Totally up to you though. You want to run one for 2 weeks? Go ahead. But I think you keep people's attention for about 3 days is what I'm finding. After that, people stop participating. So why am I going to spend more time on this? Let's just make it fun, make it quick, and have it be an enjoyable experience for everyone. Also, marketing imagery, make sure to check that for resources. So here we have the registry checklist, which you can download and send it to your bride. I'm finding, you guys, I haven't even really been sending the brides packets lately because they're doing it all online. It's so simple. But you can send them that registry list. And then the wedding shower planner is printable. So I'll do front and back, and I'll send one in the packet to the host. And if I do send a bride packet, because some of them do want a catalog, I'll send that as well. In my host packets, this is what I include for the couple. I always do a handwritten note in them, so you're not just opening it up and being like junk mail. Like I want them to feel like I spent a minute on their shower. But I do 2 catalogs, a handwritten note, couple order forms, a recruiting brochure, a registry checklist, and the wedding shower planner. And I'll make notes on the planner so I get them excited about different things. And I do the same thing for the host. Except for I also include the invitations and envelopes if they've asked me to create those for them. And the tip about brides and grooms make excellent recruit leads. You guys want to mention that to them when you explain how the host benefits work. Because it is part of the host benefits, it's our job to share that they can use up to $50 towards money off that kit. If we're not doing that, we are not doing our job. And then communication with the host. This is going to scare some of you, but pick up the phone. I think it is good to pick up the phone and build that connection with the host. Now, keep in mind, you are the expert here. Even if you've never done a shower before, they are looking at you to lead them. You don't have to know all the answers. If they ask you something you don't know, or if you're like, I'm not real sure, would it be okay if I looked into that and got back to you? People are going to appreciate that more than you faking it or giving them a wrong answer. So if there's something you don't know, go ahead and get back to them. Here's my 10, 11 points that I kind of talked to with the host. First of all, thank them. Be excited about it. They're only going to be as excited as you are, less than you are. So you always want to be excited and let them know that it's going to be a great experience. Set their nerves at ease because it can be stressful. Some people get really worked up about planning things like this. And I've had hosts on the phone, super nervous at the start of the conversation. By the end of it, they're like, oh, thank you. I feel so much better about this. Just because we can talk through all these details They feel like we have a plan. They know I'm on their side. We're going to work together. We're going to have an awesome shower, and this couple is going to be so blessed when we're done. I'll also ask them if they have any ideas in mind for the shower already. And I learned this one the hard way. I had my recipe picked out that I was going to do and didn't even ask them. And this one host had this whole great theme in mind. And I just kind of just mowed over her. And so make sure that you ask them, because hers was a great idea. It was a taco bar and it worked wonderfully. So also ask if it'll be online, in person, or a combo of both. I'm finding my most recent host isn't even on Facebook, so she didn't care to have a Facebook event. But then I asked the bride. Yes, the bride would like a Facebook something so that she could communicate with some of her friends and family.
Hey,
Janelle,
Jayme.
yeah.
Yeah, just one point on the recipe thing, because I've also found the flip side. If you're too open, they might pick something that does not use great tools and all that.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that.
Expert. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
I'm gonna get to that. I just asked them if they have anything in mind before we start, and then we'll kind of circle back to the food later. So I don't do any final food plannings at this point. I just ask if they have any ideas in mind. Good point, Janelle, because I have had that too. Oh yeah, and then pretty soon you're catering an entire meal. Okay, so you also want to find out the date, the timeline of it, location, invitations. And I just say one of the services I provide is personalized invitations. How many will you need? Send them out about 3 weeks in advance. A lot of times the host just wants me to send the invitations and they'll mail them out. That's great. It's cheaper for me. If they want me to mail them out, I will do that. You guys, my bridal showers they're worth it. They're worth the time that I put into them. So spending a little bit on the front end, it always comes back in the back. And then the food, I will circle back on that. Set up, I'll tell the host that I offer to bring an apron as a guest book. Would you like me to do that? And I started saying a guest book because I had one set of hosts. It was a bunch of women working together and I only had one point of contact, and showed up and she had all these little Jenga pieces that she wanted everybody to sign. It was super cute. So then the couple would have this great Jenga game, but then I show up with the apron, and then so people came and they had to sign this and then this, and it was just a little blah. So just, it's a good thing to point out. And the apron, I believe, is $13 on the supply order form right now. I think I come to that in a minute, and then the quiz, I tell the host that I sent the bride a quiz. If you haven't done that yet, you can tell them that this is one thing that I offer. Now, if they have other games planned and they want to take care of all the games, that is just fine, but I still try to do that quiz because, like I said earlier, it helps me to build rapport. It helps me to get to know the couple better, who does most of the cooking, the spiciest food, favorite dishes that he makes for you and you make for him. Those all help me. So when I'm doing my demonstration, I could say, this is something they could use for their lasagna, or, fill in the blank. And then ask if they want a couple catalogs. And then I also explain the shipping. And I find out, like I'm doing some right now where the couple is in Wisconsin, the family's in South Dakota, but they want everything shipped to South Dakota. So you just want to talk about all that ahead of time. And that part can be probably the biggest headache of a shower, is the shipping. And I'll talk more on that here in a minute. Okay, so invitations. This is a Canva template that I have created. It is super easy for me to plug in new pictures and names and addresses. And I love that it's already done. As I've used it for years now. I started pulling some old ones out, and this is my favorite one. The mom sent me a picture of the little girl baking. Isn't that so cute? So that was one of my favorite shower pictures. If the couple doesn't have a engagement photo, there's some stock images in Canva that you can use. The design size is postcard, so they fit in the A2 envelopes. And so I send them I have them printed on cardstock in color. I have them cut them for me, and I can get 30 of them for less than $5. So it really is not that much for me to do. And they're so grateful. There is a printable PDF if you are not a Canva person. This is available on Marketing Images, and that's cute too, I think. I think they're bigger. That would be a whole sheet of paper, so it'd be half. So you'd need bigger envelopes to send those out. And you're still going to need to get that printed somewhere. We do have a discount with Office Depot. Check online for other ones. But if you email anything locally to our Office Depot, they're going to know the Pampered Chef discount because I use it all the time and I'm not the only one. Like, we all do a lot of printing there.
I have also had the host do the printing. I mean, you are really located ideally for that whole deal. Some of us are not, some of us are pretty remote. So I've had hosts that are actually in this, in a bigger city. And so I have them do it as well.
Perfect. Yeah.
Just FYI.
Yeah. And you guys, this is your business. It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. They might just appreciate you setting up the design for them. Another pro tip, I learned this one the hard way. Sometimes you might have a family that wants to make their own invitations, which is fine. That's great. It's less work for me, but absolutely be insistent that they use these words. No need to bring a gift. You can choose your gift at the shower and possibly something for yourself too. If they don't want to put that last part on, no worries, but they do need to say no need to bring a gift. Otherwise, you're going to have people showing up with gifts in tow. And it's happened to all of us. And one other note I want to say about that is if you make the invitations and you still have people showing up with gifts in their hands, don't be alarmed. Sometimes there's like Aunt Betty who gives every kid gets the same thing. And so she brought the thing, like there's going to be some of that. And there might be some homemade gifts somebody made. So don't get your panties in a bunch if that happens. Okay, but it shouldn't happen too much. Then food. Now this is probably once I have a plan for food, I feel so much better about it. I have a shower coming up the end of this month and we haven't nailed down the recipe yet. And once I do, I feel so much better about it, but we're still talking about it. But when you pick a recipe, you want to choose high dollar tools and easy to make, easy to serve. You don't want a whole lot of bake time. Find out, is there an oven? Is there a microwave? We have so many things that plug in now that we would be fine if there was nothing. We could bring, as long as there's an outlet, I can do a demonstration and I can cook about anything. So yay for the double burner or the griddle and the quick cooker and the air fryer. There's so many things that we could do. Be mindful of the special. I said next month's special, but if you're doing a shower at the beginning of August, you would want to use August special so you can book more parties in August. Show those bigger ticket items that people are going to want to get at a discount because that's booking tool for you. And you need to kind of stand your ground on some things. And one is you're not having to plan the food for the entire shower. You want to be very clear on that. I'm going to do a quick demonstration. It's not going to feed everybody. So what did you have in mind for food? So that's kind of the words that I use. And then we can pick something that goes with it. An idea is a charcuterie board would make a great shower. You could show a lot of products with it. Or I did the French onion sliders at my last couple of showers. They were so fun. It was fun to work with the bride. I used the rapid prep mandolin on the onions. It is a little, it gets a little hot and you got to move fast. And if you're not one if you want to be more planned and not feel pressure, that might not be the best one for you, especially if you're newer. But it was a great way for me to get some bookings. People wanted that grill and griddle. Another shower, I did the tortilla roll up, the TikTok craze where you put something here and something here and something here, and then you twist it and roll it and grill it. And we did that. They had a taco bar. Nobody ate what I made. They already had their food planned. I just wanted to show some products. Clubhouse Chicken Squares is an oldie but a goodie, and you guys, it shows so many tools. You have the crescent roll crust, and you can have that done ahead of time. Then it's cream cheese, garlic, or dill seasoning, cheddar, cucumber. You could use the rapid prep mandolin. I get the tiny cherry tomatoes and do the quick slice on those. That sells a ton of those every single time. And then the manual food processor with the red onion. And chicken, you could do in the electric or the grill and griddle. Well, you could do the chicken about anyway. Another idea, salads. This is right now when we're recording this, it is July. So salads are great. You can show a ton of products with a salad. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a Pampered Chef recipe, but it's nice that they give us the tools when they use it. Another idea is brunch. Love brunch parties. And these ham and cheese brunch squares are so delicious. They are on a hash brown crust, and you do that ahead of time, and then you pour the eggs over, and I mean, it does not bake very long. And while that's cooking, I cook up my ham on a little hot plate with some in a pan. So you can show a lot of different things. Mimosa bar is fun. The host would take care of that. You just want to give them ideas too if they need ideas. And your host is really going to appreciate you if you help with food. Not saying you have to bring the food, you help her brainstorm food. Every host is different though. Janelle, anything else you would add on the food?
No, you're great, but you read my mind on those sliders. You told me that a while back and I was like, oh my God, it's so hot and there's stuff, grease flying. I don't know if I could do that at a party, but I'm gonna try them at home first.
Yeah, yeah. And I think they need a little more seasoning. Use the French onion seasoning on them. They're kind of bland otherwise.
Yeah.
I
And
finally
just
tried
keep
one.
it, if you're really nervous, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Even like a fruit salsa, I know that doesn't use a power tool. If I make fruit salsa, I also bring a couple power tools just to show them, or one or something. Like I'll feature something that's coming up on the special. But if you just keep it simple if you're nervous.
Yeah, and you want to keep your demonstration. I want from the time I start, do my welcome, to the time I wrap up, I want it less than an hour. And I tell the host that my part's going to take less than an hour. If I can do it in 45 minutes, it's even better. So if my demonstration is 20 minutes, that's awesome. And it just depends on how many people are there. Okay, so my in-person shower tips. If you are going to the shower, you want to arrive early, at least an hour early. I think you need to get there. You need to get everything set up. You need to be ready when guests arrive, and just have everything in order. And also look nice. That should go without saying, but you know, if you're wearing an apron, make sure you iron your apron. Iron the apron that you order off the supply order. If it's tight for you, ask the host if she wants to get an apron. You don't have to buy this for them. I say this is my gift to the bride. But you could say, hey, I could order an apron. Here's what it looks like. Send them the picture. It's $13. Are you interested in me ordering this for you guys? So you don't have to dole out that money for it. Also bring some fabric markers if you do provide an apron, and talk with the host ahead of time about where that's going to be set up. Because you don't want that, like if all she has is table space and then your demo space, where are you going to put the apron? So I kind of, tell them I need about a card table size. And then fabric markers, sometimes they go through. So I try to bring something to go under that apron because some people don't like their oak tables to have fabric markers on them. Don't ask me how I know that. All right. Then how to keep track of who is buying what. If you're real crafty and you want to go nuts and do something like this, you go ahead and knock your socks off. You can do any fun bridal boards that you want to make. And there's some hosts that just take care of this. So can you send me a catalog so I can make these? Absolutely, you go nuts. And I used to make a lot of boards, but then I learned how to do an easy to print registry. And so Pampered Chef has helped us out so much. So I'm going to teach you quickly how to print the gift registry. So we'll see if this works. So you view host wish list, then you click on the name of it instead of, and then now I'm in the wish list, and you can share it on Facebook or copy the link, but I can print it. And I kind of slide it down so you can see. So I'll hit the print button and boom, that's how I do my registry now. It's so much easier. Now I can also save it as a PDF, and then I can have that to reference later. And I changed the name to Ava's Fake Wish List, which she actually made last night, by the way. And that's that. So that is the how to print it. And then all I do, Dina gave me this idea and it has saved me so much time. Thank you, Dina. Is just print that registry, throw it in a 3-ring binder. I went to Hobby Lobby. I got some fun stickers, threw it in the front of the binder. Bam. I set this out. It is the gift book. I'll pass it around, the gift record. And If people want to combine on orders, they can put multiple names next to it. Have you guys seen how nice this prints out? So, I mean, it's nice and big, and this is easy to pass around, and or sometimes I'll just set it on the table next to the apron. Pro tip, make sure you take a picture of the gift record at the end. I open the binder, take all the pages out, bring a paper clip, and I give that to the bride. But I want a picture of all those pages just in case something's not adding up. I can see where somebody wrote a name or maybe where there was a mistake. You just don't want to give things and then be like, I wonder what that was about. So any questions on that? This is seriously my newest time saver thing.
Yeah, interesting. That's interesting. Hey, another little thing, I know a lot of my consultants don't always have printers. And if you save it as a PDF, you can then either send it to somebody you love that has a printer with colored ink, or I send mine over to Office Depot, Max, whatever you want to call them now. And I just have them print it 'cause I don't have color ink.
I don't either. I actually had to send it to my neighbor to do one the other day. I usually have my husband do it at his work.
And then I put mine on a board that I get at the dollar store, and I just, put them on there, and I just have them X them out. But I like this idea, so that's very cool.
It's easier to write on. It's easy to pass around, keep the book flowing throughout the whole party. It's not giant and cumbersome, and it'll move the whole time during the party. And as people get there, when you're setting up, you want to explain to your host. You'll usually have a few hosts there early. You might have a couple aunties, and just show them, if they see something they want to get, have them write their name on it and then have them put it on their order form in this section. So show a couple people how to do that. And by the end of it, you'll have it down pat. My intro, I think it's really important to start on time, or at least within 10 minutes, because you want to be respectful of the rest of their day. I'll just say thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited to pamper, who's the last one? Haley in her kitchen. I'll tell them that I think the kitchen's the heart of the home. I just typed this up in case you're watching it and you want to jot anything down or snap a picture. But, having the right tool for the job makes the daily job of keeping our families fed so much easier. And then I asked how many have been to a Pampered Chef shower before. And here's a tip that I learned years and years ago when I first started, 20 years ago. If you want people to raise their hand, you need to raise your hand. So I'll say, how many of you have been to a Pampered Chef shower before? I'll go like this, and then people will put their hands up. If you ask them, they won't do it, but they will follow what you do. Another tip that I learned is to stand on, as people are looking at you, their left side of the table. So if you're looking at them, you want to stand at the right side of the table. You don't want to be behind the table. Our eyes, our brains are trained to read left to right. So as a demonstrator, you want to be on that side of the table so that people's eyes keep coming back to you. That's just a fun little tip I thought I'd throw in there. But I'll just tell them this is going to be so much fun. I'll say in front of you, if you've never been there, I'm going to explain how it works. In front of you, there's a catalog and then an order form. There's a section up here for the couple, and then there's a section for myself. How many of you have ever been to a shopping for someone and bought something for yourself? Has anyone not done that? I should give a prize for that. No, everybody will laugh. Well, if you see something that you would like to get today, you're not hurting the couple. In fact, you're helping. If you have hosted any type of in-home party before, the more that's ordered, the more free products you got on your shopping spree. Well, our couple, and Haley and Cody was one that I just recently did, will not only be getting what you order as gifts, but also they're going to get to go on a huge shopping spree when this is all said and done. How cool is that? So I'll have them turn in the catalog where the host program is. And then I'll say, now you might also notice there's a wedding gifts section. And Janelle added this. I love it. If I make note of that, I almost always have at least $100 in sales extra because somebody's buying a wedding gift. So, and I'll say if you want to do a bigger ticket item and have it count as wedding and shower, that is totally an option as well. What else? Oh, if you're getting a wedding gift and you want to bring it to the wedding, you can have that come to your house. We'll just be sure to take it off the gift record. And if a couple of you want to go in on a bigger ticket item, that is just fine too. Just make sure all your names are written next to the item, and then I'll pass the book around. So I hold the book, then I pass it around, and then I'll say, before we get started, you know, I want to do the quiz, but I'm jumping ahead here. Another thing that is really helpful is to paint a picture of the value of the shipping. So I'm a Prime user because I don't like shipping. They can charge me $10 extra for the product and I'll order it because I don't have to pay shipping. It's so stupid that they do that. And I bite because I don't want shipping. So just keep in mind that people at your parties are also probably feeling that way too. So I want to paint a picture. How many of you have gone shopping for somebody off a registry, maybe at a Bullseye store of some sort? I'll say that because it's almost always Target, right? And then I'll say, okay, so you go shopping, you end up buying something for yourself too, so it costs you a whole lot more. You got to find a place to park. And then you got to go in and print the registry. If it's even working, I've had the printer not be working. You have to find the right product. It might be in the wrong spot. You got to get a gift bag, and then your time of finding that product. So you want to just build this picture. So the $7.95 shipping is not that big of a deal. So I'll say, so today, if you want your items to go directly to the couple, that standard shipping charge is $7.95. If you want to order something for yourself as well, then you would have 2 separate shipping charges. But remember, we're not having to go to the store. We're not having to go shop. We're not having to, you know, do all those things. So I painted a picture. Hopefully it's pretty easy and people are okay with it. If it's convenient for you to get the gift to the couple yourself, you can choose to have everything come to your house and then you deliver it. When you spend $80, then you get a free item from Pampered Chef, and that's the time when you would share whatever the special is. If your product total is 150 or more, then the shipping is free. So this is also a good time where if a couple you want to go in on an order, you could certainly do that and get it for free on a bigger ticket item. So I'm trying to get them to be thinking about, you know, spending more. Give them permission to buy right from the beginning. Any questions on this? Because the shipping can be the biggest headache. Okay, well, I'll get more into stuff on order taking at the end here. So my flow of the shower is after the intro, then I do the quiz. Oh, before we get started, I have a fun little icebreaker. Let's see how well you know the bride. And then we'll do quick introductions. You don't want to spend a whole lot of time on these, especially if you have, like, one of my last showers, we had 27 people there. I mean, if you're asking people to share their favorite product and how they know the host and blah, it can just get so long. So, excuse me, I will just ask them to share their name and how they know the bride if there's a lot of people. And then I ask the bride or the couple to come up for a demonstration. Couple showers are super fun. You can do guys against girls. They're usually at night and they usually involve a lot of alcohol. So those can be super fun. One time we did taffy apple pizza and they raced doing the apple peeler core slicer. I mean, you can make them super fun. And then you want to close with a survey drawing slip. And this is what the drawing slip looks like. So this is the one home office. This might be different now. Yeah, this is 2015. But anyway, this is something similar to this. Or Jamie Hilber, I think, made these. But you want to pass those out. And you want a strong close. And hopefully I've done my job and I painted a picture and people want that power tool that I showed. And I'll say, you know, let's see here. Haley's host rewards will continue long after the party is closed, or can continue if there's a few of you that would like to help her out. When she gets 3 people that book a party from hers, from this shower, then she's going to get an extra $50 credit in her account from Pampered Chef. So consider this, the double burner griddle and grill is, whatever, like this month is 60% off anything. So do the math, figure out what the math would be and give them the actual numbers and write it down. I recommend having note cards. I think you saw that earlier. You want to write down what the cost of the product is and what the cost would be if they hosted this month or next month, whatever the special you're trying to fill. But be smart about that. And then you want to wrap up with the prize winner and be very grateful. And thank you for your time. And one more wish for the bride. I'll say, you know, I really have enjoyed this experience. You did such a great job helping me cook. I wish you guys a lifetime of love and happiness and great meals. I'll be set up over here. If you guys need me, you can make your checks out to me, or I can take the whole plastic family as well. I do accept Venmo and PayPal too, if that's easier. Of course, now Pampered Chef accepts PayPal. Woohoo! But anyway, those are just easy things to cover, but you want to be sure that you cover all those details at the end. Okay, Gretchen, back to your question, what you put in your online group, and I can add you to one if you're interested. But this is the words that I use when I set it up. That I just use Pampered Chef's words, and then I'll say, here's the link to the registry. If you want the items to ship to the couple, here's their shipping address, our standard shipping, blah, blah, blah. It's just got all the details. Now, not only do I use that as the description, but I also copy this and put it in a post in the party, and I mark that as an announcement. So everybody has all those details. I think it's really important that you let people know they can call you too. I get a lot of calls from people that just have a hard time with the online ordering, and I get it. So I'm happy to do online or phone orders. If you're doing a virtual party, you want to make sure that you have some fun posts, some engaging posts that get people talking. You know, what's your favorite Pampered Chef product? Things like that. But these are some fun ones that are related directly to bridal showers or wedding showers. And then virtual options to connect. So this was when COVID first hit. We did a Zoom at the end of the online shower, and it was super fun. A pro tip that I learned is you want to get on about 15 minutes early so you can help grandma get connected. I've had a few struggle with that. And then another tip that I learned is I had people that didn't want to get off. So we're in my Zoom room, and this was during COVID. So I hadn't seen each other in a few, at least a month. But they were chatting, and they were younger girls, and I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna buzz out here for a minute, and the room's gonna close at 11:30. So set an alarm on your phone, tell them they can stay in the room as long as they want. Otherwise, if you shut it down and everybody's talking, it's rude. It would be like think of it like you're at an actual party. You wouldn't just say, okay, bye, everybody out. Like, you want to let the last stragglers have moments. And so I learned to have an end time and communicate that with people, and they will appreciate it. And then there's always somebody that's watching the clock that way too. This was such a fun shower too. I had one of the women kept pouring rum chata shots. This was like 9 in the morning. It's hilarious trying to pass them on the screen. Okay, taking orders at the shower. This is a quick video showing how to take an order. So you would add the guest, and if you only put their name and their email address in here, I think you might have to do phone too. You can add them as a guest, which I like to do if they're not ordering something for themselves. So if they're just doing something for the bride, then you want to shop the wish list, add the item. And then where it says view cart, that pops up for just a minute. If you click that, it'll take it right back to the cart. Then I'll go into the shipping address, and then I'll type the host name, and it should autofill for me, and then save shipping. So that saves me from having to type it in every time. If you put the customer info as the bride's info, then you're going to have a lot of wrong shipping information in your parties, which ask me how I know that. I know that. There should be a WL beside the product that you order for the couple. The only time there's not is if there's multiples. So let's say they're getting a food chopper for themselves and a food chopper for the couple. Because both of them aren't for the couple, that WL, which means wish list, will no longer be there. But if you check in the registry, you can see who has ordered it. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay. Next one, had this just happen, is had a woman come up, grandma came up, and she said she doesn't have the batter bowl on there and she needs it. And she let me know that that bride needed that batter bowl, and that's what she was going to get her. Well, it was really busy and I couldn't talk to her. I thought, okay, well, I'll just add it. So this is how you can add an item to their wish list, to their registry, so that you can pick it off of there. So you'll click that wish list, you'll click up the blue, and then add classic batter bowl. And then I scroll down to make sure it's there. And there it is. I missed it when I was looking. There it is right there. So then I will go back and that'll bring me into the party. Now I can view wish list again and it should be there at the bottom. So as you add items, they're going to come on at the bottom. Okay. So that's a way that you can adjust that wish list. And then later on, because it's grandma, she probably doesn't even have an email address. I'll talk to the bride. Like, is this something that you would like to have? She might already have 3 batter bowls at home. So we can change it and she can still thank grandma for the batter bowl. But so anyway, just make sure that if you're adding things to her wish list that you talk to her afterwards. I make super good notes on my order forms when I do this. And like, here's one. And here's another thing that you can do. This could be a headache. You have to make really good notes, but like this woman in particular wanted to get these 2 items for herself. But the brownie pan set, we ended up adding to someone else's order. So she didn't have to pay the $7.95 twice. Okay. She was already paying to ship to her house. Heidi was already ordering stuff that was going to the couple. So I just added the brownie pan set to Heidi's order. It can be like, you have to, if you're doing this, you have to make really good notes on this. And my tip is to not submit any orders to home office while you are at the shower. I have gotten home and I've been like, oh shoot, if I'd have known that, I could have just added this thing here. I'll go home, mow it over, make sure I got it right, and then I will submit the orders. I wish I would have done that last time. I wish I hadn't sent them all, because you can't make changes once they're in. And otherwise you can go home and move things around if you need to. If you are,
I think it's important to note that when you do this kind of stuff, her actual registry online is going to be a hot mess.
yes,
She can't go by it. I have my brides go by the registry online, so I'm very meticulous about.
see,
whoever
and I
orders
have
the
them,
order.
I have them go by
Use
this.
your book, right?
Yes.
So that's I'm taking note of that.
So I will tell her,
Yeah.
So it's going to look like Heidi bought you a ton of stuff and Heidi loves you, but this is from Julie, Sally, you know, like, and if it's a big enough order, then that order doesn't have to pay shipping. So, and I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I'm cheating the company, because everybody's ordering for themselves too. And then just the bride's order is 150. So she gets free shipping for the gifts. Any questions on that? That can confuse people. And I debated whether I should even mention it or not, but okay. Then at the end, I sit down with the couple or the bride, or usually the bride and the host, or the bride and her sisters, or whoever is there. And I will walk them through where we are sitting. This is the best part of the shower, in my opinion. It is so much fun. So here's where we're sitting with guest sales. And they're always like, what? Are you kidding? Yeah. So this is how much you have in free dollars. But look, when we get to the next level, you're going to have this much. Because I know people are coming in with cards and I know there's money in those cards. So is there anything on this, you know, on your wish list that we should get to add you up to get you to the next level? Or I'll say something like, a few people came in and they told me they didn't know what to get for you, so they just put money in the card. So if you want to use those dollars towards something, I have an order open. We can add a few items on and we can use that money to bump you up to the next level where you'll get even more things for free. So you just be smart about that. Your host coaching isn't done when you're at the shower. It continues at the end. And usually there'll be an aunt sitting around or something. How close is she? Oh, I'll add something to my order. But if you already sent that order, you can't add to it. So that's why that's my pro tip. Half price items earned, host special. I tell them what that is. And then here's your 3 bookings. Now, if you bring this printed form, which I'm happy to share with you, you're going to work hard to get those bookings because you don't want that blank for the bride. So it helps you to ask everyone that comes up. And then I have a spot here on the kit credit earned, because it's either 25 or 50. So I'll put that there, and it's just one more time for me to mention, you have all these free dollars. You can use up to 50 of it towards cost on the kit. I know you're busy right now. Maybe this isn't the best time, or maybe you do want to order up a kit, but either way, we can use it, and you can order that kit when the timing is right. So it just gives you another reason to mention joining your team. And then afterwards, I take the time I'll go off her wish list. And I don't know, I haven't found the best way to do this yet, but I will go from her wish list and I'll type item numbers in, and I'll add a fake order with all the things that she got as a gift. And then that shows me how much it would have cost for all the gifts purchased. So this one to Haley, $13.52 was the gifts, would have cost a regular customer $17.52 on your host order. So that means you're going to start your married kitchen with over $3,000 with the best kitchen tools in the world. How cool is that? I'm so happy for you. You know, Pampered Chef pays the shipping and handling within 30 days. And then I'll also, oh, I think I get to that here. Hang on, the next one. Oh, and then I write a handwritten note. I love to write thank yous. If you've ever got anything from the mail from me, it probably has confetti in it too. But I think it just it means a lot. And people don't remember what you say or but they do always remember how you make them feel. And I was reading about gratitude and thank you notes today. They just mean so much. They're just such a great way to show your gratitude. So take a minute, write a note. And then a lot of times I'll ask the bride don't go out of your way, but if you happen to get all your Pampered Chef stuff out and you want to make a haul picture, and if you're older and don't know what haul is, the only reason I know is because I have teenage daughters, but it's where people get done shopping and they show all the things they bought. Well, brides love to show off what they got. So this is one, if I ask them to do it, 9 times out of 10, they're not only going to do it, but they're going to post it on social media. They're marketing for you. So go ahead and ask for that haul pic. And here's just an example of one that was sent to me. And then I try to make a marketing image or make an image in Canva. And this is just a template that I just plug the info in. And I mean, dollars talk, you guys. So if a bride is looking at my VIP page and sees, oh my gosh, I want all that stuff, have a bridal shower. Tell your family you want a shower. And that's it. That's what I got. Any questions?
I have one. I'm feeling overwhelmed by all of this.
I'm sure, but we recorded.
Oh, I just feel like it gets kind of confusing, all the ordering and everything like that. I don't know. Maybe I just need to sit down and wing it, my first one, and figure it out.
Do a fake one so you can practice with it. Set up a fake show, add fake orders, and then you can play around with it.
That's what I kind of need.
I'm going to stop the recording just because we're at an hour. I thought it would be half an hour, but man, there's a lot of info.